We are just a little more than 3 weeks away until Election Day, and as of today, the race has become a dead heat. New NBC News polling released today has the race tied with Vice President Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, both at 48% nationally among registered voters. It's a noticeable drop from last month's NBC poll that had Harris leading Trump by 5 points. Now, the comparison couldn't be more stark compared to the last time an incumbent vice president ran for the top of the ticket. At this point in 2000, then Vice President Al Gore had a 60% approval rating compared to Harris's now 43%.
President Obama was out there last week waving his finger at black men. When are Liz Cheney and Hillary Clinton going to wave their finger at white women? When are Bill Clinton and Joe Biden going to wave their finger at white men? Because 52% of white women voted for Trump in 2016. 55% voted for Trump in 2020. They all voted against their own interests. When the finger waving going to start at them?
Molly, you in danger, girl.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Micca, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because y'all know when we have the Red Cup, we're about to spill some truth. And today, I wanted to come on and talk about Kamala Harris and Charlamagne the God, okay? She had an interview with Charlamagne the God. It was an audio town hall, and I have never in my life heard of that, but, you know, it's a lot of new things that, you know, we have to get used to under Kamala. So, with that being said, I wanted to get right into it because it's so much detail. Like, it's just so much going on with this. So, I want to get right into it. So let's go.
I do want to say President Obama was out there last week waving his finger at black men. When are Liz Cheney and Hillary Clinton going to wave their finger at white women? When are Bill Clinton and Joe Biden going to wave their finger at white men? Because 52% of white women voted for Trump in 2016. 55% voted for Trump in 2020. They all voted against their own interests. When the finger waving going to start at them?
Well, thank you for highlighting that. I do have the support of over 200 Republicans who worked for various administrations, including everyone going back to Ronald Reagan, to the Bushes, to John McCain and Mitt Romney, and including Liz Cheney. And I'm very proud to have her support. And I believe that many of them who may have voted for Trump before are supporting me because they know the stakes are so high.
She says she has the support of over 200 Republicans, okay? And that the Republicans that are supporting her because they know the stakes are so high. Ma'am, that's not supporting you. That's voting against Donald Trump. It's not nothing you're doing. But outside of that, I wanted to touch on something that she said, okay? So she said she had the support of Liz Cheney, the Bushes, and John McCain and Mitt Romney. Now, let's touch on something since, you know, they like to bring up that she's a woman, okay? If she is so, you know, on this, I'm a woman, respect me, you know, the whole I'm speaking, all right? So she's on that 24/7. Well, if she's on that 24/7, how are you accepting Mitt Romney? Y'all made a big deal. When I say y'all, I'm talking about Democrats and liberals, about Mitt Romney talking about binders of women. If you remember, binders of women, it was when Mitt Romney was running for president and he said he had binders of women. Now, it was taken out of context, of course, but at the same time, the Democrats literally went on the attack to Mitt Romney about these binders of women. They said it was sexist. They said all this other stuff. And now all of a sudden you're happy to have his support, but he was the devil when he was running. You see the hypocrisy, but let's keep going. Then she says that she has the support of the Bushes. Okay, well, the Bushes is a war crime family. All right. And Daddy Bush, we all know what he said about the New World Order. And that's something that Donald Trump is very much against, and that most Americans and people even in other countries are very much against. Right. So that's another thing. On top of that, she said Liz Cheney and her father happened to be some of the worst. During 9/11, it was Dick Cheney. Let's be clear. It was Dick Cheney who was in charge. Dick Cheney got in his company, Halliburton, got contracts during the Afghan war. That's why we invaded Iraq, because Iraq had nothing to do with nothing. So why were we there? That's why it's called the invasion. So to say that you have the support of all these people, Liz Cheney, the Bushes, Mitt Romney, shows that you are the establishment candidate. You are the candidate that the establishment actually wants in, deep state, deep fake, whatever you want to call it. You are that candidate. So with that being said, why would we want to continue the same? Let's go to the next point.
Doesn't the Biden administration have to take some blame for the border, though? A lot of the blame? Because, I mean, the first 3 years, y'all did get a lot of things wrong with the border.
No, Charlamagne, within hours of being inaugurated, the first bill we passed before we did the Inflation Reduction Act, before we did the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, before we did the Safer Communities Act to deal with gun violence, first thing we dropped was a bill to fix the broken immigration system, which, by the way, Trump did not fix when he was president. And you can look at every step along the way. We then tightened up the asylum application process. We then worked with what we needed to do to secure ports of entry. We did a number of things. Congress has to act to fix the immigration system, and it has been broken for a long time. Congress has to act, but it does not help when finally a bipartisan group got together to fix it. And Donald Trump told them, hold on, don't do that because it won't help me.
Well, did he also tell the Democrats to kill it? Because not only did the Republicans not vote for it, the Democrats didn't vote for it. What Democrats do you say? Cory Booker. How about Cory Booker? Congress has to act to make an actual bill for immigration. Yes, the last time a president actually put an immigration bill and that it passed was Bill Clinton, right? In 1996, he passed IRA. Okay, IRA is the reason why your immigration is so bad right now, right? He made it so much harder for good people to come over here and to actually get their paperwork done. That's the reason why you have these long withstanding waiting periods, okay? That was Bill Clinton, but he was doing it to slow down immigration and he just made it worse. Barack Obama deported over 6 million illegal immigrants, okay? So when they start this whole immigration argument, Barack Obama had no problem with sending them home. You remember what he was saying? Mañana? Okay? He said, we're going to send them back mañana. So Barack Obama didn't get an immigration bill passed and Donald Trump didn't, but she only points out Donald Trump. However, Barack Obama did take executive action, okay? He took executive action and he got 6 million people deported, mass deportation. He had children sleeping on floors in little tinfoil stuff. He separated them from their families. He did not care about that, right? So to expect Trump to care about it when Barack Obama didn't is wild. So again, if we're going to blame Donald Trump and the Republicans, we're also going to blame the Democrats because Elizabeth Warren, okay, Cory Booker, all these people did not vote for that bill she's talking about. So are they racist? Are they didn't want you to win? Apparently they didn't because they didn't vote for it as well. So she's a liar, per usual. Let's move on to the last part here.
Harris made a campaign stop on a special edition of the popular syndicated radio show, The Breakfast Club. She talked with host Charlamagne the God about the choice America faces in this election and the lies being pushed about her record as a prosecutor. Take a look.
One of the biggest allegations against you is that you targeted and locked up thousands of black men in San Francisco for weed. Some say you did it to boost your career. Some say you did it out of pure hate for black men. Please tell us the facts. What's the facts of that situation?
It's just simply not true. And what public defenders who are around those days will tell you, I was the most progressive prosecutor in California.
Okay, here's the thing about that, right? She locked up approximately 1,900 men for marijuana charges. Like you can literally just go look up her record. All right. So about 1,900 approximately. Okay. Let's just say you had time of 5 years. She kept you over the time so she can have free labor. Oh, it gets sinister. Okay. And then on top of that, okay, she not only did that, there was a man called, I believe his name is Justin Truelove. Okay. And Justin Truelove sued Kamala Harris. Okay. And won millions of dollars. You can look that up. And even Vice did a whole documentary on him. Cherie Peoples, I did a story on that and on a documentary on her as well. She locked up this woman, called her a thug, called her all this stuff, had her in the paper, had her doing a perp walk. Reuters did a whole piece on it and said that, you know, she was allowing her daughter to be a truant and her daughter was in a gang. Her daughter had a literal disease. Her daughter has sickle cell and would miss days of school. And even though the mother had the medical documents, this woman still did it, still locked this woman up. She lost her job, had to fight Kamala Harris for 2 years before she dropped the charges. But I digress.
They are trying to scare people away because they know they otherwise have nothing to run on. Ask Donald Trump what his plan is for Black America. Ask him.
I thought we sort of talked about this yesterday, but will these kinds of appearances that she's making make inroads?
I think so, especially in terms of this.
Your hair looks gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Whoop. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think it will make a difference because of this division that they're trying to cause within the Black community, and with this. I just think it's a fallacy that Black men are the problem. Black men are not the problem. When you look at the stats, the New York Times just came out with a poll. 80% of African Americans will be voting for Kamala Harris, and that includes Black men.
We're not talking. But it was more for Biden. I think that's the issue, right?
No. This is about Harris.
I know,
right? But Biden had greater support with Black men than Harris.
Yes,
Biden did.
but that still does not negate the fact that Black men are still supporting Kamala Harris.
By and large,
right? By and large, and so we're not talking about white women. We're not talking about Hispanic men. We're talking about Black men, and they're not the problem. And the demonizing Black men, I think, needs to stop when it comes to Kamala Harris. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that she promoted her policies about what she will do for Black America, a Black agenda, as opposed to selling Bibles and gold sneakers and thinking that a mugshot is going to help get the Black vote. She pointed out that the Biden administration, the Biden-Harris administration, Black child poverty was cut in half. That's a fact I didn't know. She also said that they achieved the lowest Black unemployment rate on record. You always hear Donald Trump saying that. That's just another one of his lies.
Okay, so what you're looking at right here is the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? That's what you're looking at. And if you see when it gets down to that 2020, right, it's a huge spike because that's exactly when everything shut down under COVID, right? That's the exact moment, all right? But right before that, okay, is Donald Trump's last labor numbers for African Americans, okay? Now, as you see also on the screen right here, right, if you look at observation, all right, and I'm even going to take myself off just so I can pull this up because this is important. You saw what I'm talking about. You saw that she is lying. Her, Sonny, all of them are lying. Like, why can't you just tell the truth? The man had lower Black unemployment, right? And these are from, it said, you see where it says source? It says U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. That means from the United States government. Okay, so Donald Trump can't manipulate them. He can't lie about them, as they like to say. This is all from the government. So indeed, he did have the lowest Black unemployment. Now let's go back to lying Sonny. So now let's address another thing that she said. She said that she was glad that Kamala brought up that she had a plan for Black America. And what was Donald Trump's plan for Black America? Donald Trump brought up what? The Platinum Plan. Like, y'all don't remember that? Donald Trump had a plan called the Platinum Plan. And when he tried to introduce it, you guys, along with everybody in the media, all the liberal media, when he tried to introduce it using Ice Cube and other people, it was the Platinum Plan, and it was a plan that was going to help Black men get back to establishing leadership for their families and all this other type of stuff. And I mean, it was detailed. They didn't want no parts of it. They were like, "Oh my God, you know how Trump does his hand. So I'm going to do this. Oh my God, it's not going to work. It's not going to do anything. How is he going to get this passed? He's just fluff. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." So I'm going to bring up Trump's Platinum Plan, and we'll show you exactly what Trump was saying. Okay. So as you can see, Kamala doesn't have anything new to say, right? She's talking to Charlemagne and she's saying the same thing. He even asked her about, why does she keep repeating stuff? She's like, "Oh, we gotta keep repeating it." The mainstream media is gonna keep doing the same thing, which is the reason why I don't even cover all of her interviews. Okay. So I wanna go ahead just really quick and show you some of the proof of the lies. Okay, so this one right here is called the Strengthen and Bring Down the Cost of Healthcare, right? So she talks about capping insulin. She's capping, but capping insulin and how she did all of this stuff, right? You guys see it, right? You see it. Okay, here we go. It's right there. Oh, but wait, there's more. So you remember Kamala's plan says, strengthening and brings down cost of healthcare, right? Here is another executive order that Donald Trump did. What does that say? Executive Order 13951, an America First Healthcare Plan. October 1st, 2020. It was signed in office by Donald J. Trump. Okay. And then let's just go through some other ones. Okay. Blocking property of certain persons associated with international court, criminal court. Okay. Like, these are all executive orders. The executive order numbers are at the top, so you can go and look at this stuff yourself. And when it was revoked, April 1st, 2021, as soon as those people got in office. Okay? Like, all of these things, look at it. These are all Donald J. Trump. You remember when they were talking about the moratorium? There it is right there. Executive Order 13945. During COVID, we're going to help people and we're going to give them money. This was already enacted. Donald Trump did it. He did it before he left office. It's wild. It says Executive Order 13945, fighting the spread of COVID-19 by providing assistance to renters and homeowners. So remember all those people that couldn't afford their mortgages and all this other stuff? Well, he had it to where, hey, we'll give you assistance while all of this is going on, because it's crazy what's going on, right? It's not your fault that they closed the jobs, and the state governors, the Democratic governors were like, "Oh, we got to close everything. We got to close everything down. You got to stay 90,000 feet away from other people," right? So it wasn't your fault. I keep telling you that this lady is a fraud, right? A fraud by all means. Here's my final thoughts. My final thoughts are this. You vote for this lady, you're going to get what you deserve. Nothing, because that's exactly what she's going to do. Nothing. Everything I just showed you in here shows how disingenuous she is, shows that she's a liar, shows that she doesn't even know the job that she's doing. Yes, they've revoked tons. When I say tons, tons of executive orders. Like, I could give you a bunch of them. Okay. But I'm going to save that for another video. Like I told you, I have another video coming up and we're going to talk about a lot of things. But each video, I'm going to keep throwing executive orders in there if they fit, right? Because this woman and Joe Biden are lying. All right. They lied about the unemployment. I just showed you that, right? Oh, we had the lowest Black unemployment. No, you didn't. Even right before COVID, right before the high and everybody got laid off, fired, whatever you want to call it. Donald Trump had a 4.8. It's at a 4.9 right now, 4 years later. So what does that tell you? He had the lowest because it's still lower than what it is right now. Like, these people like to play games with you. And if you don't do your research, if you don't know what you're talking about, you're not going to ever know, right? A lot of the times people hear other people talk, or they hear people talk and they don't get to hear everything, hear the whole story. And sometimes it's just things being left out on purpose. But you got to go do your own research. And when you do your own research, what you're going to find is the Democrats are liars. The Democrats want to keep you where you are. They do not want you to get ahead. They keep talking about all this, let's move forward stuff. They're not trying to move forward. They're interested in keeping the status quo. That way, you can have this little cloud and fog and think everything's okay, and they can be doing what they need to do over here, like they've been doing. But best believe you're going to regret that vote if you give it to the Democrats. So those are my final thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. Support, as always, is at Cash App at $officially Micca. Okay, that's MICCA, $officially Micca. If you find value, please support $officially Micca at Cash App, or you can support here in the super chats, or you can support in our comments down below with a super thanks. As always, thank you for watching. It's your girl Micca.